It is. Good morning. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. Richie in the morning? How does it? Maybe I had to go to sleep. Maybe I went to the bedroom, but I didn't sleep. We have a cigar here from St. Sacco. The Partagas. 10. The Partagas Decadas. This is the second one, I believe, of the more modern Decadas line. This one's got time on it. Minimum of 2, maybe 2.5 years. We got brown cello. It was technically the Decadas from the 2021, but it looks like it might have been released the end of the year. And most of the reviews I'm seeing is from like 2022 early. So let's just say lowballing it December 21 or January 22. You're talking about 3, 4. You're talking about, okay, so if it was that case, January 24, that's 11 months ago. So you're really talking about almost 3 years, give or take, about sub 3 years of age. Is it going to be aged out? I don't remember being a strong cigar from the beginning. It's actually a rather full packed cigar, but not super heavy. Using 3 different Nicaraguan, 3 different areas, all of the main areas. And then it's using an interesting Connecticut Habano binder. You really want to cut high on this cigar. Cut high because it's very delicate and it can crack. This is not Cameroon. It is Brazilian Cameroon, and technically, what all that makes it is Brazilian tobacco Connecticut seed. I'm sorry, Brazilian tobacco Cameroon seed. Normally Cameroon tobacco, oh, Cameroon. Yeah, it's from Cameroon, Africa. They took the Cameroon seeds and they grew some in Africa. In Brazil. So technically makes it a hybrid, makes it a Brazilian Cameroon. People would like to say it's Cameroon. Kind of looks like Cameroon. It's even more delicate than Cameroon. We're going to take soft, gentle heat. And yeah, I hope you're having a nice morning, right? Hope you're nice and fresh. Make sure you wash your hands. Run some water over your face. Slick back your hair. Whatever you got, rock it. Soft, gentle heat. Can't stress it enough. Soft, gentle heat. Just take your time. Make sure you get the edges. Rotate that like a rotisserie chicken. Just take your time. You can't overcook it with soft flame. There you go. A sweet and savory aroma. The same cigar right now will be stronger in the daytime, early in the morning. Not just because you only had maybe one meal. Let me explain as I puff on this. The mind is easier stimulated in the morning. By the end of the day, with everything that happened, you almost become numb to the day. It requires more at nighttime than daytime for the same object. People eat more, they drink more at nighttime. They fuck more. They proved this. They say that once the sun goes down, the mind becomes more numb and it requires more of the same thing to be stimulated in the dark. Wow. Well, that's great flavor off the bat. So any cigar you like, if you want more out of it, smoke it early in the day. I promise you, I promise you, picture your body in your mind like a piece of leather. In the morning, you're a brand new coat. By the end of the day, if you got up in the morning, went to work, whatever you did, dealt with your wife, your kids, traffic, by the end of the day, that leather jacket is broken in, beat to shit. Maybe a little comfortable. And now it could, you see what I'm saying though? It's not as stiff. So it's more shocking in the morning. You understand what I'm saying though? If you want to get more out of any cigar, this is a fact. Smoke in the morning. Same thing with alcohol. If you want to get more out of your scotch, have it at 7 a.m. I'm not recommending drinking in the morning, but you understand what I'm saying. I'll tell you what, a solid medium plus off the bat. And the cigar didn't age out. Generally speaking, the cigars I've had with time, from General, I never really had issues for aging out. And I've had some of their Cameroon stuff from Partagas. Was the 160th. It had like 20 years. 20 something years from the factory. No, 20 years post, whatever it was, long time. You watched the and it was fantastic. So we'll see how this goes. It has that Cameroon cinnamon sweetness, but it's not as pungent. It's a hybrid. The finish is quite short right now. There's a breadiness, twanginess to it. It's quite nice. I'm gonna go and come back and let this thing just build up. Just getting comfortable with it. This is a good blend, yeah. Does it seem higher end than like a regular Partagas? Yeah, these were costing $18. These were not cheap cigars. This was using very expensive tobacco and very expensive packaging for what Partagas normally does. Bands are on point on that. Now, does that mean you had to smoke it? Well, the cigar's already, I don't think it's coming out anymore. I think it was a one-time deal. I think so. So, unless they make another one. But if you see some, or find some on the internet at a decent price, you know, enjoy it. It's already cracking in the back. It's a very delicate wrapper. And I think all that part of this issue is for such a thin, delicate wrapper, they really put a hearty pack. I mean, it is fully packed. Really a lot of tobacco in this thing. That combination maybe could have not helped this wrapper or make it more prone to crack. There's some floral notes kicking in right now too. I'm gonna come back. We got floral notes, we got some cinnamon, not as much as regular, but we're getting like a sourdough pungent as well. A slight bit of black pepper spice. All in all, it's off to a good start. It's not like balling off the beginning. It's not like, hey, this is the reason why you should get this. And I'm hoping, and I'm also pretty sure, that as we let the cigar wake it up and get a little further down the line, since it is a full-size Toro, and I'll let you know. Finish is getting a little longer and heavier. Well, we're into the last third, no touch-ups, and luckily, as the cigar cracked, when it started getting heated up from the cherry above it, it just burned right through it. Nice looking band. I have nothing bad to say about this cigar. I think it's quite delicious and also kind of unique, but also kind of answering a question that no one asked for. But in a limited release, a special release, I can understand making something off the beaten path. So it's definitely worth having one time. I think trying it once is a solid experience. Although at this point you're not going to find them anymore because They've been sold out for a couple of years. The finish is getting long and pretty heavy. Um, the sourdough, pungent, funky, fermented, funky, pungent Brazilianness with the cinnamon Cameroon seed and the Brazilian wrapper combined is interesting. And I wouldn't say off-putting, but it's such a unique combination. Your brain almost is confused because in reality, outside of this cigar, when you think about it, what makes this blend special is you probably never fucking had Cameroon, Brazilian Cameroon wrapper being pushed by Connecticut Habano and then some Nicaraguan tobacco and the fillers. Is there anything bad about that? No. But it's just such a limited situation that begs the question, why would you make this? So it has that to it. So some people might say, well, I just like Cameroon, like the Hemingway or the Red Dot, Cohiba, or Don Carlos, and that's the Cameroon you're looking for. So I almost wouldn't even consider this like a Cameroon cigar. Once you say Brazilian Cameroon, it's a completely different category. Completely takes the cigar a different direction. Is it enjoyable? Yeah. Was it different? It was different enough. Very like bready, pungent, sour, sweet, and the floral notes are there throughout as well. It has an element of sweetness to it, but I wouldn't consider it an overly sweet cigar at all. And it has some spice to it, but I wouldn't consider this an overly spicy cigar at all, and definitely not with the extra time on it. But I don't remember the original intent being, massively strong. Right now I'm at like almost a gentle medium full. You consider maybe around 70 to 72% strength. It's not exactly 3/4 strength, but it's not exactly a medium strength in the last third. All in all, I'm glad I smoked this in the early morning. You get more out of it. If you smoke any cigar late at night, you will be less stimulated by it. That begs the question, does that mean you should smoke your cigars in the morning? No, I'm not saying that, but what I'm telling you is, if you're going to have a cigar that's not extremely strong or on the lighter side of the spectrum, you'll get more out of it in the earlier mornings. I promise you that. I also recommend, though, once in a while, change it up. Try your Liga number 9. Try your Padron 64 Maduro. Have it right after breakfast with your coffee. And you'll get a different experience. And what I mean by that is it will hit you harder. Any cigar will hit you doing anything in the early morning, exercising, making love, or just flat out fornicating with a complete stranger with consent. It's going to be more shocking at like 8:30 in the morning because you're like, I just had some eggs and oatmeal. Like, is it too early for chocha? I think the reason why, though, people generally do cigars at night, because most people work the day shift, and after dinner, then they smoke their cigar. But also, I think the normal thing is if you're having one cigar, is you want it to be, it's generally your best part of the day, a cigar. So you have that, and you go, now the day's done, and I'm going to bed. If you smoke one cigar and you have it like after breakfast, like I'm doing now, you're like, now anything else I do today is not going to be as good as this moment. It's only downhill from here. Unless you're going to smoke a cigar tonight, which I might do. Maybe I'll do a live later tonight, and that'll be like 12, 13 hours from now. And by then, you can see my palate will probably be pretty clean, especially since I'm going to drink a lot of filtered water, and I have things to do, and I'm going to hit the gym. I did really enjoy this cigar. It's going to be a solid, even 4.7 experience. It's definitely above average cigar. It's definitely above like good or pretty good. Or it's better than just like, well, very good, I think it's a higher very good to slightly maybe even amazing kind of a cigar. It's unique though, but it's different enough that I don't think it's for everyone. And it wasn't cheap for Partagas, a sub $20 cigar. Between the two, the green, the previous generation, was the superior blend. Also, I think because that was a skinnier gauge, that was a smart size. Might have been a little longer, but it was a thinner gauge, much thinner, and the more traditional wrapper. And it made it a more easier to love blend. Where this is going to be different, unique, and that's all good too. So if you're looking for something different, have a Brazilian Cameroon. I think it's good to try something different once in a while. Your mind is the canvas, and the cigar is the paint. You know what I'm saying, though? And I guess the construction is how the brush moves, you know, and the whole thing is a picture. You know, what picture are we going to paint in my mind? That's what cigars do. And what you don't want to do is you don't want to go to prison. You want to stay out of prison. So no cigars in prison. They don't even have filtered water there. I think even like brushing your teeth or going to the bathroom is not as fun. So just stay out of prison. You got to deal with something you don't like, just ignore them. Go straight to a cigar store and go buy the most even gouged cigar. Even at $50, it'll be cheaper than a lawyer. It'll be cheaper than doing something stupid. No one's gone to court because they smoked a cigar. Obviously, don't light a cigar up in church or in the mall. That's frowned upon, or maybe possibly an infraction. Although I think they should have a church cigar club. I wouldn't say in the service. I wouldn't say that would exactly be sacrilegious, but they should have a men's cigar club at church, like on like Saturday night. What guys could possibly not just read the word, but talk, be there and comfort one another through laughing and talk about their issues, kind of like how we do here. Like if you got a gambling problem, you need to quit. The best way to win, I have the greatest technique to win gambling, whatever your poison was, scratch offs, lotto, casinos, betting on midget races, whatever it is. My best advice is just to quit. Every time you don't gamble, you win that money. If you're going to go spend $10, $50, $100 today, if you don't play, you can just keep that money. And then keep 20 for yourself. Go do whatever you want with it. And then put 80 back where it was. And then you'll have something, and you kept 80, and you didn't blow it. Because trust me, gambling's a losing option. If you could handle it once in a blue moon and afford it, and say, hey, I'm going to go blow $500 at the casino this month, okay. But at the end of the day, most people can't even afford their lifestyle they're doing. Meaning, if you can't afford to do what you're doing 10 times right now, you can't afford it. So if you can't afford to lose 5,000, you can't afford to go lose 500 right now, right? Because you should never do something frivolously, even if it's 10% of what you could blow, right? So if you can't afford to go blow 5,000, if you can afford to blow 5,000, then just go play 500. But you get what I'm saying, though. So if you're a regular person, you pay your bills, you got some money left over, you'll have nothing left over if you're gambling. Because if you're gambling, it's never enough, and it's like a snowball going down a mountain. It just builds momentum, because then it's $10 a day, $20 a day, $100 a day, $200 a day, $500 a day. And life will give you no mercy. Sure, if you win, they'll pay. But they also, when you lose, you get no mercy. You don't get your money back. Ever. You lose. Sorry. So don't play the game. You stay fresh. Sacco, thank you for the cigar. Very enjoyable. 4.7. Kind of a luxurious cigar, how smooth it is. Although it's not a really easy to blend, but it's very unique and kind of different. But the world was never asking. People love Cameroon. The world never asked for Brazilian Cameroon. So I respect what they did there for a limited usage. But if you want to stick with the status quo and you just love Cameroon, I wouldn't say, well, if you love Cameroon, you're gonna love this. No, at that point you're gonna. Why don't you have some, Indonesian Cameroon, or Connecticut Cameroon, or Pennsylvania grown Cameroon, or Florida grown Cameroon. You just throw Cameroon C wherever you go. It's not going to be the same thing. Nicaraguan Cameroon. Although I think Nicaragua, well, I'll tell you what, the Honduran Cameroon, though, that was, I think, more closer. They did that with Aladino. So if you want to try an offshoot of Cameroon, that's not Cameroon, that's Honduran grown Cameroon seed, try the Aladino called Cameroon. Almost positive that was Honduran Cameroon. And that is, I think, a better representation of doing an offshoot of Cameroon. The Brazilian, due to the nature of the dampier, funky, swamp-like, sour kind of strangeness that Brazilian could do, I don't think exactly mixes. It doesn't show Cameroon in its proper light. However, though, it is interesting. I did really enjoy the cigar, though. I'll see you soon. You stay fresh. Don't do it. Whatever stupid fucking idea you're going to do, don't do it. As a guy that's about to be 41 years old, and I'm still free with all my rights, don't do it. Whatever it is, no. No. And don't eat ass. Staphylococcus. I don't care how much antibiotics you think. You get some weird bacteria in your throat, or a virus. You can get like tapeworms in your throat or some weird shit. Don't go to the crack. Don't smoke crack, and don't eat crack. Hey, I'm gonna be 41. I know one day I'll be 42, because I don't eat crack and I don't smoke crack. Don't smoke or ingest crack. You get what I'm trying to say? Pun intended.